a private member's bill today in the Dáil, and it is to secure the energy assets of Bord Gáis and the ESB, but also the government share in Aer Lingus and Caoilte in full public ownership. The government have made clear for some time now that they were minded to dispose of all or part of these assets. We've consistently said that that is a bad decision, that it would amount to a fire sale of these assets, that it would be a very costly decision over the long term for the citizens and the state. So we're urging all deputies to consider this motion carefully, and if I could say particularly for Labour Party deputies, to really remember the commitments that they made to the electorate a year ago. At that time they stated very categorically that they would protect commercial semi-states, that they would use state assets for the common good and to grow the economy. We want them to keep their word, and keeping their word means supporting our motion today.
I applaud each and every one of you for making the effort to come here today, to come here and show the political establishment that what they are doing is wrong, and that you, the ordinary citizen of this island, will not accept their blackguarding and what they're attempting to do to rural Ireland. It's a great day for the Irish people, because you are inspiring each and every one out there to get off their knees and to challenge the political establishment in this league, to challenge them and to prove to them that what they have done and what they continue to do is wrong and unjust. You have come from many parts of the country today to show your solidarity and support with the citizens of this country. You have come here at your own expense. You have come here to tell them people in there that you want justice and you want rights. And all our presence here today, standing with you, is to give our commitment that we will stand with you to get justice, to get equality for all our people. You deserve to be treated as citizens and as first-class citizens. You deserve to be treated right across the island as equals. You deserve justice, not the injustice that's been imposed upon you by the political establishment. And that political establishment includes all who were part of government down through the years, all who you entrusted to do the right thing. And what they have done is betrayed that trust. The trust that you gave them, they betrayed it. And your presence here today is to take back your rights and your entitlements, and to tell them that enough is enough. I applaud you, I stand by you, and we will see this through to the very end. Garamahagad.
Garamil Mad Farik Tassin Khulahort La Farawan agus Dinawan Hassan Factor Shagan Lamara La Farawan has Suas Shna Parking Natalia Rokanela Tugi Bulabaska Farik Akfats Vi Parik a Shasa Suas Egon Lamara Vidini Ele a Khulahard Elegant Tirsha Avi Shasa Suas Visha the Shasa Suas a nine Natali Sherachus Visha the Shasa Suas and I na Kerryhas na Scully. Visha the Shasa Suas and I na Kerryha Sagora Slanta the Winila me homos come the Tishma Horianer Agazella Tash Shipcha and Shah Holonaginov Mar Winianer Egg Shasa Suas Agus Falamat Agus Shasa Mudlekele Goodigawi Hologana a Muffin Dua Agus Nadini which I tell Jacob Karam the Fania on Realtor Shah.
Come on, yourself.
It's a substantial sum of money, and if I wasn't aware that the cost was 50,000 over the 2 years that have been highlighted in the media. Kind of hindsight's a great thing, and if I could go back and I would do it differently. But all of the material that was produced in my office based on these cartridges, that was circulated locally, and it was an information exercise, as in we were informing people of various different issues that were affecting communities at the time, and in the constituency kind of we would have been well known as prolific leafleters. Kind of every single week there would have been a leaflet of some sort or other going into different parts of the constituency, if not every single day, and it was a huge exercise. It is one of the most disadvantaged communities. They don't have, or didn't have at that stage, as much information or access to computers, so they were relying on public representatives to inform them of a lot of the changes that were happening at the time. There's huge changes in terms of planning in Dublin South Central, in particular in the Liberties area, where there's high rise going up morning, noon and night, and then in the Bluebell area there was plans kind of for a whole range of high rise. So some of the examples that I sent on to journalists who asked me for examples of the literature shows exactly what was being highlighted. We're also a campaigning party, and the literature would have highlighted different campaigns that we were running locally, or some of the other activities such as the area surveys which we would have carried out, and the response from that and the results of that, and also informing them of different things that Dublin City Council were involved in and were planning. And for instance, I looked back at in 2008, there was a major chaos in the postal service in Ballyfermot. Nobody else covered it. The media carried it very small, but nobody knew what was going on, so we distributed 10,000 leaflets in a week, just highlighting kind of what the dispute was around and how to address it and where to go for their mail. So it was information, and we've since then totally changed in the House of the Oireachtas, the way things are done. Nobody at any stage in the House of the Oireachtas contacted me and said, you know, you're using too much, you're claiming too much off the toners. If they had, maybe at that stage I would have looked at it and changed the way that I was designing the leaflets and printing them, and we wouldn't be where we are today. And we've supported every single change that the House of the Oireachtas have done in the last number of years to try and cut costs to the state and the taxpayer, and I have no problem kind of continuing to do that. And most of the leaflets now are black and white. They are photocopied, which is a lot less costly. And we're also a bigger party, which means we have more ready access to the printing facilities that the Oireachtas has for parties. At the time, if I wanted a leaflet done, it would have been between 4 and 5 weeks before, from the start to the finish of the process, before I get it, and that means that the information will be out of date. That has changed, given that Sinn Féin has grown as a party, and we use that type of literature a lot more now.
Gerry, just there doesn't seem to be much austerity in regard to the printing bill by Aengus Ó Snodaigh in your party. As party leader, are you going to ask them to repay all or part of it, given there seems to be a lot of waste of money here?
Well, first of all, I think this happened around 2007 and 2008. Aengus has, and I haven't spoken to him personally about this, but he has explained that he was producing leaflets and other printed material to inform people. He represents a constituency with many disadvantaged citizens in it. He has explained that he wasn't taking it for self-gain. There is no comparison between those TDs who draw down expenses to have their hair cut, to have their laundry done, and so on and so forth, and those who legitimately use resources to inform citizens. I do think it was excessive. The rules obviously have changed, and I think that's a very good thing.
Gerry, you've made your position clear on the referendum and how you'd like to get Irish people to vote. Is there any circumstances under which you could recommend a yes vote? Even if we got a sweetener on the debt, some write down on the debt or anything like that? Well,
you see, I think the difficulty for people, and we need to be very mindful of this is an austerity treaty. It institutionalises into perpetuity the policy of austerity. Now, we shouldn't be surprised that the Taoiseach's in support of that. He's been consistently in support of those type of policies for a very long time indeed. He also famously said he wants to be the Taoiseach who takes back economic power by 1916, yet this clearly takes whatever remaining residue of fiscal power there is in this state and in this Oireachtas and gives it to unaccountable bureaucrats and also to the bigger states. So from what we know about all of that, clearly people should not be in support of this treaty. I think the fact that it's a referendum is to be welcomed. I think the way the government tried to avoid it is just absolutely ridiculous, and then the way they announced it, I was given notice, I think about 10 to 3, that there was going to be an announcement in the chamber. We weren't told what we asked. My PA asked what was going to be about. The person on the other end of the phone said, we don't know. So when we went to be told this, the Taoiseach and the Tánaiste had their prepared scripts. So, this is a government which has just torn up every single commitment that it has made, and on this issue certainly is going along with the bigger states, the bigger powers, and its own policy of austerity as opposed to the interests of the citizens across the state and across the segment.
Gerry, what about this meeting now that you're going into with the Taoiseach? What is the Sinn Féin approach?
Well, again, and you're always conscious of not all the time being on a negative, but the Taoiseach promised this meeting all of perhaps 8 months ago, and I have asked him 3 or 4 times about it because he made a commitment to consult with the opposition on this constitutional convention. I wrote to him about 3 weeks ago outlining Sinn Féin's view of what that constitutional convention should involve. He hasn't answered me. I do think that it's a good initiative, but I think the notion should be to reimagine Ireland right across the entire island, and then to have full participation by as many citizens as it's possible, to have best practice universally, and to have a rights-based approach. So think of a new republic, a genuine republic, and then a constitution to fit that, and let our imaginations fly on that. I also think it's crucially important that the diaspora, as of right, have an involvement, and I've talked to Taoiseach about that in the chamber. It doesn't need to cost money. We have consular and diplomatic services, that there can be arrangements made to do that, and of course, and obviously, citizens in the north, including our unionist neighbours, need to have an involvement in this as well.
Tánaiste, you and the Taoiseach tell us repeatedly that you wish to restore Irish sovereignty. Can I say to you that you don't seem to be having very much success? You propose a referendum to give away even more control over Ireland's economic affairs. And indeed, the German Parliament discusses the Irish budgetary situation while TDs and the general public are kept in the dark. The Finance Committee of the Bundestag for a second time has discussed sensitive documents relating to the Troika, your external partners' austerity programme, before the Irish public, members of this Dáil, or indeed the Finance Committee have even seen them. So we have a ludicrous situation where German parliamentarians discuss the economic situation in Ireland while we in Ireland are kept in the dark. The substance, it seems, of these documents is also deeply troubling. The Commission's report suggests that the Irish state may require a mini-budget in 2012. The European Commission appears to be recommending greater cuts and tax hikes. Now, we in Sinn Féin have repeatedly warned that unless there is a change in the direction of government policy, Ireland may not indeed meet the Troika targets, and a mini-budget may be necessary. If these reports are true, then it seems our fears will have been confirmed. The report, I understand, also suggests that the Commission demanded a revised asset sale programme from you in December. So can you tell me, is this how 2 billion of a fire sale became 3 billion?